Cobra Kai is back, and season 6 part 1 was very entertaining to watch. Everyone's getting prepared for this tournament that's near called the Sakai Taikai. I apologize if I messed that name up. It's an international tournament that happens every 2 years, so it's a good boost for anyone that's there, especially if they win. But let's talk about some stuff outside of that. I really like the progress we saw some of the characters make. Like, for example, Johnny in the first episode, he had a talk with Stingray. He wanted Johnny to come back to Cobra Kai and get things started. But Johnny didn't do it. He went and told Daniel that he didn't want anything to do with Cobra Kai or how Eagle Fang was kind of similar to it. He told him and Chosen that they helped make him a better sensei, so he didn't want to just teach offense anymore, and he wanted to lead Miyagi-Do to victory. Another moment was when he was trying to look for a house for his family because a pipe messed up Miguel's place, so they're gonna have to be staying with Johnny for a little bit. While him and Chosen were looking for a house, things didn't go too well with the agent. You know how Johnny is, and instead of him going off and punching him, he let it go. And just then, a new opportunity presented itself from someone who saw him fight back in the day. If Johnny can get his stuff in order, have like a stable income and all of that, he has a chance to get one of the houses. And he is taking it seriously. He went and got a job at Daniel's car lot. Now, this is Johnny, and he did have a moment where it was kind of messed up. He was trying to get Sam and Tori to dislike each other in a friendly way so that they would get their edge back when they're fighting. It was not a good way to approach that situation. He planned it poorly, by the way. The two of them are finally getting along. I know he wants to win a tournament, but that could have led to an opposite result. I'm glad they were able to talk it out and not ignore what the problem was. They're moving forward. I do want to give credit to Miguel and Robbie. Those two have been getting along, and compared to before, it's way better. There was a scene where something popped up, but besides that, those two getting along was good to see. Because to be fair, just like Tori and Sam, Miguel and Robbie, it's better for everyone to work together. Back to Johnny, out of any of the characters making progress, I'm glad to see Johnny is one of them. Sure, Johnny messes up like everyone else, but to see where he came from until now, being a better father, a better person, doing the best he can for those around him, is great to see. Daniel, on the other hand, was good in some of the episodes, but once he found out a secret about Mr. Miyagi, it affected him in a way. I get it, Daniel's upset about what he found out, but don't take it out on those around you, especially someone you're partners with for the dojo. I don't know, sometimes I just get tired of seeing Daniel and Johnny get into some type of disagreement, and they should just talk it out. Daniel wants to follow the Miyagi way. I know he was someone who was important to him, but he should also add into the Miyagi way so that he can make it his own as well. He doesn't have to follow every single thing the Miyagi way. Not everything's going to be perfect, or not everything's going to go his way. I think things will be better when the tournament is over or during, but Daniel has to calm down a little because him and Johnny actually will be good friends. A character I thought I wouldn't feel sorry for but did was Kyler. So Miguel, Hawk, and Dimitri were visiting a college and Kyler goes there. He was trying to get into a fraternity and they could all tell that he was being treated like crap. Miguel is a good person. He was trying to check up on him and how they were talking to him, and when they made Kyler eat some food on the floor, Miguel told them to tell the truth. They basically weren't going to let him in that fraternity. Kyler stood up for himself, and the line that he said about him knowing karate, I'm not going to front, I laughed. When I seen it in the trailer, I laughed then too. It was awesome to see all of them fighting together and not against each other. In the end, things did work out for Kyler. I'm glad they didn't make Kyler rude to Miguel and everyone when he saw them, and that he also stood up for himself. In addition, it was nice to see Miguel jump in and help out. To be honest, he could have just sat back and let him get treated like crap from all the things that he did, but he stood with Kyler and he fought. Moving along, the acting in the show, I thought it was great, but there were some scenes that stood out to me. I gotta say, I like the acting with Jacob and Gianni, who play as Hawk and Dimitri. Dimitri had learned that Hawk didn't apply to MIT because he wanted to check out some other options, and you could tell Dimitri was upset. I understand why Dimitri was upset. They talked about going to that college, but sometimes people have other plans or they want to do something else first. But I thought that scene was well put together. You could hear like the emotion when they were talking and how they were acting. It delivered a good, authentic reaction. The next moment though was an emotional one. A tragic moment was starting to affect Tori. Bruh, the way Peyton was acting during this scene as Tori with her match with Sam, and when she told everyone what happened, you could hear the pain in her voice. And just her trying to push through it and continue the fight, it was sad to see because she was going through an emotional moment. She needed to stop the fight and at least talk to someone. After Tori had left, she made a rash decision. I think what happened will change later on, but hopefully things will get better for her because she is going through a tough time right now. And she needs to be around people that care about her and that are there for her. Now this character right here, Kreese, isn't making any good decisions. After his escape from prison, he went to go see Kim Da-eun to put together a group since Cobra Kai made it into the tournament. While he was there, he ran into his sensei, Kim Sun-young, which I was surprised to see him there. In the episode, Kreese had to get rid of his weakness, which was Johnny, before he could progress with anything. Which he did. He's going full force in what he needs to do to get them ready for the tournament. I kind of felt sorry for him when he defeated the Johnny that was in front of him that was representing his weakness. Before he fought that Johnny, he told him that he felt fear for him. It was like he was just breaking away from him and going back to his old ways. He already picked one of the students there that he knows is strong. His name is Quan, and from what it seems, that student is going to be a problem in the tournament. That tournament is something that all of them have a reason for going into it. It did have an effect on some of the characters for the good and the bad. Like one of the karate students sabotaging another student so that they could enter the tournament. Either way, we'll have to wait and see who will become victorious, and we're going to see some interesting fights, and I can't wait to see who will win it all. Part 1 has left you thinking what will happen in the future, and that is the most exciting part. If it was another thing I had to add in there that I didn't like, was that I wanted some more episodes. I wanted to see what was going to happen next. And also for Anthony and Kenny to somewhat get along, but we'll talk about that next time. Back to the topic, just in general, what was going on with Mr. Miyagi and his secrets and him being in the Sekai Taikai? How did his fights go? Did he win or lose? What will happen to Tori after the tragic event? Is something that will impact the character in the future. Overall, part 1 was a good watch. The acting, the emotional moments, the characters progressing and or situations that still need to be handled, and more. But I am interested to hear what you all have to say. Comment below, what did you think about part 1 and what do you think will happen in part 2?